Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, or at least for me, I should say good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dodging Prison and Stealing Vocab. It is time. It is Friday. We have successfully got through the week. It's been an interesting one. Many ups and also many downs. But we have persevered. To those of you who have been looking forward to the writing streams that I was hosting last week, my apologies. We got basically none done this week, but we will see what we can do next week. We will try and get back on that schedule. This week has been it's been a trying one. It's been a trying one. As I said, we've had some highs and we've had some lows, but it is Friday. We are closing up the week and we are going to be doing editing and publishing for Dodging Prison and Stealing Vocab. Sorry, for Dodging Prison and Stealing Witches. So thank you all for being with me here. We are going to do a read-through of the chapter that is going to be released. And after we have done that, I'm going to hand the text off to our inimitable Svu, who I see has reminded me that it is not in fact a writing stream, and it is in fact an editing stream, and has changed the title. Thank you very much, Svu. That is very much appreciated. And then we are going to be moving straight into chilling with some Hogwarts Legacy. In the main story quest, we're going to be trying to get through that as quickly as possible so that we can move on to Lego later on. Way later on. Not this stream, way later on. But we're going to try and get through the story quest to the most reasonable degree that is possible. It's probably going to take a year, but who knows. In any case, Dragonbait, welcome. Good to have you Good to have you with us here. K-Shits, hi to you. Good to have you with us. Svu, Zardetta, hey man. A book is Hobsession. Hi friends, everyone's reminded to posture check, stretch, hydrate, take meds if need be, and overall take care. You're loved, and it's great to see all your lovely faces here. Well, thank you very much. A book is Hob. A book is Hob. A book is Hobsession. A book is Hob. We're going to go with a book is Hob for the moment. Thank you very much. And yep, the thought is very much projected through the screen as well. Yes, our emotes here are pretty freaking cute, no question about it. So, again, warning for anybody who may be new to the stream or who is a Dodging Prison and Stealing Witches fan but has not read the current chapter because they're not a patron, whatever. We will be going through spoilers, so if you want your first experience of the story to be on the read-through au naturel, then you are highly advised to back out now, because we're going to be reading this not with an intent to entertain, but with an intent to edit, which means there's going to be lots of back and forth and stopping and starting and umming and ahhing and spending 20 minutes trying to rewrite one sentence. So let's get straight to it. Call me what you will. I get called Hob, bookish, book, etc. We'll go with whatever flows off the tongue naturally at the time then. Thank you very much, Svu. Svu has gifted 2 tier 1 subs to Sawtooth 4 and A Book is Hob. Congratulations, Sawtooth 4 and A Book is Hob. You are now members of the channel. You have been given an egg. Take care of the egg. Nurture the egg. Let's get on to editing. Let's get on to editing. DPaSW editing. Here we go. Also, how is the music? Can everyone, is the music loud enough, or is it too loud, or is it too soft? FYI? Or FMI, for my information, I should say. It's fine, Svu? Excellent, good. Okay, DPaSW, chapter 77. 0 days before the Wizengamot weekend. We need to italicize this. I think I italicized it in the proper document, but yeah. Claire dreamed. And in her dream, a giant padlock floated before her. She wasn't sure what the padlock was and had no clue how to open it. Although some part of her, a small part that remembered something her current employer / guide / teacher / lord / crush, exclamation mark brackets, had once said about memory charms, reflected that maybe she didn't want to open it, even if she could. Sawtooth, how far is this after the dueling day? I think my standard procedure is that it's generally speaking between 4 and 6 weeks. I don't remember the exact period of time, off the top of my head that we gave between the two periods, but I think it's like basically it's about 4 to 6 weeks is the answer to that. So we are currently in May, I think early May. We're not quite at June. I think we're about sort of late April, early May. I think is the answer to that. But if I've written something in the story that contradicts that, please, someone feel free to correct me on that. Zero days before the Wizengamot weekend. You don't remember? Yeah, I know. Right. This is where we need the AI that K-Shits was forwarding me so that we could do a quick scan of the whole thing and the AI can tell me. 0 days before the Wizengamot weekend, 3 a.m. Susan dreamed, and in her dream, her aunt's London apartment, practically on the ministry's front door. I'm going to M-dash that. Incidentally, I saw the meme in the memes channel about M-dashes. Like, you've no idea how much I wanted to jump in there and say, yeah, but that's not how you use an M-dash, mate. Because I appreciate that I've got a reputation. But I do use them in very specific ways, and not in the way that the character in that particular meme was going with. Anyway, that was like a splice, a comma splice, or an M-dash splice, I would say. Susan dreamed, and in her dream, her aunt's London apartment, practically on the ministry's front doorstep. Front doorstep? Let's get rid of the front. It's extraneous. I think just practically on the ministry's doorstep is where we want to go. You'll do a reread tomorrow. No worries, Fu. No worries. Susan dreamed, and in her dream, her aunt's London apartment, practically on the ministry's doorstep, wrapped around her like an enchanted warming blanket. In the apartment library, the refuge for her dead parents... Possessive? Her dead parent... plural possessive. Her dead parents' family collection. She put down the latest book she'd been reading, feeling that she was nearing the limit of what her occlumency-induced lucid dream would handle for one night, and made a quick detour down the main corridor, towards where normally one might find the cloakroom. Instead of the cloakroom wooden door, though, there was instead a massive vault door, locked with enough magic to make a war ward blush. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. War wards don't blush. But I'm not entirely sure I want to go in and fix that. That is a weird metaphor or a weird simile. That's a weird turn of phrase. I don't like it, but at the same time, I'm not sure what else I would make a war ward do. War wards don't really do anything in connection to other things. Yeah, imagine what could make it blush then. But what would blush in, like, response to a large amount of magic? I mean, the obvious example could be a power-hungry witch, kind of like. What about shit? What's his name? Zabini. Zabini's mother. What about Zabini's mother? To make Lady Zabini blush, because the idea obviously is that you want to have something that is going to blush in when they see something that is very powerful, and Lady Zabini has sort of been characterized as being a kind of like a gold digger and a kind of a bit of a Black Widow. I mean, obviously Lady Zabini gets characterized as a Black Widow in basically every fan fiction in which she features. That's not necessarily the same thing as saying that she would be like attracted, like sexually attracted to power, but it can lead itself to that kind of a characterization. Would Susan be familiar enough with her to know? It's a good question. Clean, uplifting, like normally they are transparent, but with enough magic they light up like the Hogwarts wards and Battle of Hogwarts. So if you reckon the lady's being slightly worse than War Wars, yeah. I know we could instead of we could say to put a war ward to shame. Instead of to make a war ward blush, we could say to put a war ward to shame. That could do the job. It's also a bit of an exaggeration because it's not technically true, but it's like it's hyperbole. Make Luna blush. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Is this all one? Is this all one sentence? No, it isn't. Okay, here we go. Instead of the cloakroom wooden door, though. Actually, let's get rid of the though. I mean, sometimes the though in like the middle of a sentence is fine, but I think we can. I personally find that I need to be a bit more disciplined about removing some of these words. I mean, I do like them. I really like the use of these sort of flavor words in the middle of sentences, or at the end of sentences, or at the beginning of sentences. But sometimes they can be removed, and if you can remove them without damaging the meaning of the sentence, I think I should be doing that, because they do complicate the sentence, and they do make them more complex. Okay, so. Let's see if this makes sense. Instead of the cloakroom wooden door, there was instead a massive vault door, locked with enough magic to put a war ward to shame. Or at least that's what she imagined. Susan bit her dream self lip as she looked at it. She was pretty sure that with her current occlumency skill, if she started now, she could maybe break the lock in, say, 10 years. But that would go against every lesson every noble child was taught about memory charms. To be memory charmed as a noble meant that you had voluntarily removed your noble house ring for the charm to be applied. Everyone knew this. Such actions almost always came with magical contracts, with clauses explicitly requiring that the memory charm not be tampered with, and the consequences of breaking such a contract could be quite terrible. Susan knew all this and wasn't going to even start on trying to break the lock. That didn't mean she wasn't curious, though. Curious, and more than a little worried. Okay, that works. That works. Off topic, am I excited for Wind and Truth this December? I actually don't know. I'm not familiar with the particular property, I guess. I assume that this is either a TV show or a book, or something going on. Please inform me. Yeah, please inform me. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I don't think we need to use Voldemort. I think War Ward is fine. I think this works well. Yeah. Oh, it's new Stormlight Archive. Right. Yeah. This probably isn't a good moment to say that I've only read the first 25% of Mistborn, isn't it? I feel like I'm about to get lynched if I say that. Okay, yeah. I've read the first 25% of Mistborn. Yeah. I should really finish that at some point because it's a good story. Like, I mean, I got that far in the book, and I'm like, yeah, this is well written. You know, these characters are good. The scenes are good. The scenarios are good. The setup is good. You know, I think, and looking back on it now, I'm very confident that if I started listening to it again, I would finish it. I think that's partly though because I now know what to expect, because I've read and listened to so much Brandon Sanderson, not his fiction but his non-fiction, that I actually have a fairly good idea of what the book's about, and I know what to expect, and I know what the story is, and I even know vaguely like what the ending is, even though I've never read the book. I do very much enjoy genre fiction in which, or rather, looking at my tastes in books, I have realized that I lean more towards reading books in genres in which, like, I already know what the ending's going to be, right? Like, one of the main genres that I read, for example, is harem lit. And you always know what the end of a harem lit story is going to be because it's in the genre description, right? Romance is the same thing, right? You know there's going to be a happily ever after, and you know that the boy's going to get the girl and the girl's going to get the boy, and that's how it's going to be, right? You know what the end of the story is going to be. I didn't know what the end... I didn't... Even though I got to the 25% of Mistborn, I didn't actually know where it was going. Like, I still hadn't, like, clocked in my mind that Mistborn was a heist novel at that point. Sorry, spoilers. There's a massive spoiler warning sign there, right? Just FYI. So, I didn't know that... I even at the 25% mark, I hadn't quite clocked that Mistborn was a heist novel, for example. And, like, the plot behind it and various other things, so... Yeah. In any case... yeah, but the setting changes the ending despite you knowing that a protagonist would get a happy ending with a bunch of girls. Oh, for sure, Zardetta. You don't know how the ending's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in the climax. And you don't know what the setup for the next book is going to be, because harem-lit stories are generally part of the genre that just keeps on going and going and going in terms of their stories. Because once you get a win as a harem-lit author, you just want to keep on milking it forever, right? Until your harem is so big that you... I don't know, has anyone ever read Dragon Emperor? I haven't, but I have read, like, the first book, and then I proceeded to, like, read, like, the introduction of, like, book 19, and it starts out with what I now call the harem-lit roll call, where the first chapter is literally just a discussion in which every single girl in the harem gets a say in what's going on to remind the reader who all these girls are, and there are, like, over 20 of them, and at that point I'm just like, yeah, I appreciate that if I'd read through like all 20 books in the series, maybe I'd maybe I'd be familiar with all the girls by now. But yeah, harem lit roll call is one of those tropes that I would like to try and avoid in my stories if I possibly can. Which means that necessarily my stories are going to be limited in their scope, because you can't write a new harem lit book in a series without introducing at least one new girl. Oh, there's a popular anime. Oh yes, 100 girlfriends. Isn't it like 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you? Isn't that what the title's called? Something like that. And it's exactly what you think. Yeah. Incidentally, I think that was a genius title, and from what I understand, it's actually very well written as far as harem lit goes. Obviously, it's Japanese harem lit, so its tropes are quite different from Western harem lit. But yeah, I haven't watched that series or read the manga, but it's it's definitely tempting. In any case, let's stop being distracted and continue on. Okay, here we go. 0 days before the Wizengamot weekend, 5 a.m. Harry dreamed, and in his dream, the fortress prison of Azkaban rose around him, both a comfort and a curse. Behind him stood a mental portal leading to whichever of his girls he'd entrusted the Dreamscape pendant to, still flickering from his recent exit. Hermione was doing really well with her independent studies. She'd soon be ready to start exploring the Aether Unpacked properly. Walking away from the portal, Harry made his way through the corridors of Azkaban, reflecting on the quiet and emptiness. A reflection that was somewhat ruined a few moments later as a Dementor glided through an intersection up ahead. There was no fear or soul-sucking depression, though. These mental constructs guarded his mind at his behest, not as his enemies. Continuing on, he briefly stopped to look in on the dirty little cell he'd been kept in for upwards of a decade. It seemed incredible, looking back, that such a thing had held him for so long. Since being jail-sprung by his benefactors, he'd built such a position for himself that the prospect of ever finding himself in such a state was highly unlikely. Even if part of his mind, one that he kept an incredibly close eye on, still jabbered in terror at the thought. Yes, K-shits. And yes, Dragonbait. Both of those. Yes, I can be quite easily distracted. I have shiny object syndrome in the extreme. I find most things to be fascinating at some level, which is one of the reasons why I'm a writer, because being a writer lets me explore endlessly at whim. Moving on from the grubby little jail cell, Harry hesitated. But no, there was no reason for him not to continue. Walking slower now, each booted step calm and measured, Harry walked up the line of cells until he arrived at one quite unlike any of the others. Instead of metal bars, jagged bolts of lightning crackled and ran up and down. Crackled. Let's do a comma there. Let's just see if we can reread this slightly. Running up and down the space, where in other cells, a door would have been. Okay. Instead of metal bars, jagged bolts of lightning crackled, running up and down the space where, in other cells, a door would have been. Green bolts of lightning. Harry stood outside the lightning door with his hands behind his back. Inside the cell lay what could only be described as a burnt-out, desiccated corpse. As Harry continued to watch, the corpse rose its head and meet his gaze. "Free me!" it rasped out in a whisper loud enough to shake the stone. "No," Harry answered. "I can give you everything. I have made everything for myself. Power. I am a Lord of Lords at the age of 12. Gold. I will soon have more gold than anyone in magical Britain. Witches. I have 2 in law and 3 more in heart. They are not mere concubines to be. All my girls could stand by themselves as terrible sorceresses in their own right." The corpse cackled, as I'd expect from the baby that defeated me. Harry said nothing. Eventually the corpse rasped. "What news from the world outside?" Harry shrugged. Still trying to find a way to end you that doesn't kill me. The corpse hissed. "You will not bring that muggle near me again." Hang on a minute. I'm going to sneeze. Ah, bless me. Perfect hitting of the mute button there. Raise its head. Would it be more primordial if the Horcrux spoke without quotation marks? Not sure. I'm happy to keep the quotation marks. On the other hand, the rose or the right... hang on, let's rose its head. The corpse raised its head to meet his gaze. Ah, Queenie! Welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us. Almost missed that. We could say raised. I'm not sure. The corpse raised its head to meet him. Rose its head. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't say rose its head. So raised is grammatically more correct. Yes, much more grammatically correct. Feels like it doesn't flow off the tongue particularly well, but we go with it regardless. I would like it if rose its head was the grammatically correct way, because rose its head does does flow a lot better than raised its head, which doesn't flow off the tongue at all. But yeah, unfortunately, we are not the gods of the English language. So we go with what we can. We can mold it though, but I'm not going to try in this session. Not for that. You will not bring that muggle near me again. You are in no position to make demands. Or that mud-blood hybrid abomination. If you want protection from the likes of Virgo, you know what I wish in return. The corpse glared. For the briefest of moments, its eyes flashed with a blood-red glow. Giving up my power to you would destroy me as surely as joining with my other selves. But am I not a more pure expression of what you strive for than your other selves? No! The corpse roared, and the lightning bolt bars sizzled and flickered for a moment before snapping back to their original shape. There was another silent beat. There was another silent beat before Harry replied coolly, "I am your lord, Tom Marvolo Slytherin." For the first time in the conversation, the corpse's expression twisted into something approximating a smile, albeit one that was all teeth and perhaps occasionally found looking up from the bottom of abandoned wells, tar pits, or collapsed mine shafts that have taken months to dig out. Then why not free me, my lord? I could serve you well. Who knows, I might even die in your service. The cost is too high. The corpse burst into laughter that sounded like burnt meat being fed through an industrial grinder. The cost is too high, it said in a mocking voice. Is that why you tried to destroy me with the muggle the moment you thought you could, despite knowing the cost would be the same? Harry said nothing. No, you do not free me because you are afraid... No, you do not free me because you are afraid that you could not control me. Even though you are my lord, you are scared of what I might become. Scared, like a little boy all alone and trapped in a cell, thrown away and abandoned. Harry still said nothing. Well, not going to say anything, Lord Slytherin? Harry turned away. What is there to say? He shrugged. You are right. And with that, he walked away, not stopping until he was out in the main prisoner gallery, where fresh-faced inmates would have been marched before the few human guards decided which wing they were to be thrown into. Svu, who is the muggle? Again, I've got no problem with saying this. Dan Granger is the muggle. Yes. Oh. Beat of silence, rearrange the word. No, silent beat, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with silent beat. I'm okay with that. Yeah, this guy, I assume that this guy is a spammer. Is it possible to ban? Is it possible to, like, block him or spam or do something with him? I don't know. I assume he is. Yeah, bot. Yeah, exactly. Harry took a deep mental breath. It had been a while since he'd last visited the Horcrux. Is Horcrux spelt with an E? Because the spelling wants me to spell it like that. Thanks, Vu. Let me check this. Horcrux, yes, it is spelt like that. Okay. But we do not capitalize these words, so we're gonna make it a small word. Okay, yep. So Horcrux without an E is the way we're gonna do it, but with a little h because we don't capitalize Rowling's words. We capitalize some of our own words, but generally speaking, we don't capitalize Rowling's words because the original purpose that Rowling capitalized these words is null and void in a in a readership that is largely expected to know what the words are, right? I understand why Rowling did it. Like, I mean, I assume that the reason Rowling capitalized these words was to distinguish them as like made-up words, but they're not made up anymore, right? Hang on a minute. What's this? Oh, sweet. Thank you very much to the new patron. 2 thumbs up. All words are made up, yes. Well, some words evolve, which is... Could say it's made up. But I know what you mean. All words are creations of humanity. I don't think there are any words we use that were created by animals that no, I don't think so. Even onomatopoeic words from animal noises are not the true sounds, and so therefore they are not the original words. Yeah, exactly. No, they're not. No. Woof. Dogs don't go woof, right? Woof is an onomatopoeic description of a noise that a dog makes, right? Onomatopoeic. An onomatopoeic description. There we go. Exactly, Salted. Harry took a deep mental breath. It had been a while since he'd last visited the Horcrux, and he never enjoyed doing so. The thing got under his skin. It made him feel icky, like not bathing for a week. Time to regularly bathe and relax being another luxury he'd gotten used to. Maybe after the Wizengamot weekend, he should think about taking Daphne out on another date. He'd probably need time to unwind. Yes, actually, that sounded like a great idea. Seeing the barest hint of the morning sun start to illuminate the sky outside, Harry decided it was time to wake up and begin his day. It was going to be a busy one. When something stopped him, Harry frowned. Something about his mental palace felt off. It wasn't something he'd have otherwise noticed, but after his talk with Voldemort's latest soul fragment, his senses were on edge in his own mind in a way he normally wouldn't be. Following a sense of what he could only describe as following a sense of what he could only describe as unease. He made his way through the corridors of his mindscape, one word, until he reached, of all things, the prison kitchens. Inside, a few Dementors were floating around the work counters, one tossing an omelette in a frying pan, while the other wore an apron reading "Kiss the Cook." That should be capitalized. Or at least, yeah, like that. Does unease need to be in quotes? Maybe? You are technically correct, Zardetta. I make a category. I make a category logic exception. If that makes sense. I can't remember what the correct term for it is, but all animals not human. All non-human animals. Out! Harry commanded. Once his mental guardians had left, he looked around the otherwise completely normal setting and sniffed the air. I think we can get rid of the comma there. He looked around the otherwise completely normal setting and sniffed the air. He frowned. Getting down on his hands and knees, he peered under each of the magical kitchen appliances. When he got to a cupboard full of cooking supplies, he sucked in his breath and stared. There was something there. Something magic. Only the most skilled of Occlumans would have ever noticed it, but he was that, and then some. Gripping hold of the magic firmly, Harry gave an almighty tug. Like a child's fold-out book. Like a child's fold-out book. One whole side of the kitchen inverted itself. Appliances, shelves, and freezing cupboards folding away to reveal something massive in the wall that made Harry suck in his breath. Polished goblin silver sparkled under so many cartoonishly large chains and locks that what he was looking at might as well be more chain and lock than door. But that's still what this was. A door. A vault door, specifically. It was a memory charm. A memory charm that Harry had no idea existed in his mind, nor how, why, or even when it had appeared. Okay, let's get rid of these. And let's put in the DPaSW standard scene break. And we're going to remove that, undo automatic bulleting, and center that. Okay. And we should go up and do that with the other ones as well, actually. So let's get rid of... I'm not sure actually how to get rid of this, but we're going to give it a shot. Nope. Can we remember... Did we ever solve the problem of how to get rid of these lines once they're in the text? Because I, for the life of me, have not got a clue. Sawtooth, I think we can fairly confidently say that this falls under the category of Raffo. These aren't page breaks, Sfu. What these are is when I do this, and then I hit the enter. That's what these are. But I don't know how to get rid of them. Because if I try and select them and hit the delete button, it just keeps it. Can I right click on it maybe? Nope. I don't know. Oh well, we're gonna have to solve that in the. Oops. I'll put the DPaSW scene break here as normal. Oops. We'll put that there. We'll center this. Incidentally, I don't use these anymore, specifically because of this. So we'll put that there, and I'll put that there. And then I'll just sort that out when we actually do the publishing. Things like this make you hate Bill Gates. LibreOffice is so much simpler. Yeah. I'll believe it. Unfortunately, if there's one thing that Microsoft Word... If there's two things that Microsoft Word is I absolutely fucking adore about Microsoft Word, even with these idiosyncrasies. The first is I love its bullet-pointed, outline system. I love that so much. And the other thing I really like is the fact that I can have all of my versions, I can have all of my documents on the cloud using the Microsoft subscription thing. I don't like that it's a subscription, but whatever. I can have all my documents on there, and no matter what device I'm working on, I never have to worry about syncing issues or update issues. I can seamlessly go from one device to another and use different devices on my work, and it just works. I can have a Word document open on my computer, on my phone, and on my iPad, and I can have them right next to each other, and I can type on one, and it will update the other two automatically in real time. That's the extent to how good the sync is. And I'm just that is exactly what I need. I love it so much. And yes, I am aware that you can do that in Google Docs, but yeah, I prefer Word. On the right side of the break, there is a button with ABC and a lightning bolt. Click on it. On the right side of the break. Nope. There does not appear to be one. Left side. click on the brake and on the left side. Is it? Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. And click to undo borderline. I don't have... of styles, maybe? Clear formatting? There! No, that didn't work. Damn it! We were so close! Let's try that again. Styles? Clear formatting? Nope. It just moved it up one. Hang on. Clear formatting. No. This thing! Oh dear. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. I'm just not going to use these in future. In the future, I'm just going to leave these. We'll sort this out in the publishing. When we put this onto the website, I'll do it then, because I know that when I'm using HTML on the web page, I know I can control that. So, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Watch the video. Hang on.
Do you have a horizontal line in your Word document?
Yes, I do.
You can't seem to get rid of it?
I can't.
If I hit delete, that doesn't work.
Nope.
Well, here's what you gotta do.
Tell me.
A horizontal line within your document is most likely a border. So here's how you get rid of it. Make sure your cursor is above the line. On the Home tab, in your paragraph grouping, go to your Borders command, click the drop-down arrow, and you can do one of two things. Either select...
Okay, so this is like Excel. Right, okay, hang on. Okay, here goes nothing. Hang on a minute, I'm not sure if this is a... Okay. Home. Border. No border. Go away, Grammarly. Grammarly. No border. Success! It worked! Oh my god. We did it! We did it! Oh my god. So it's a border. That is so fucking unintuitive. My god. Okay, so we have solved this. Wonderful. Zardetta, thank you very much for the video. And also K-Shits as well for zooming in on the border line thing. Freaking amazing. Okay. Let's continue. Zero days before the Wizengamot weekend at 7 AM. Beep, 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 beep. Harry smashed a fist down on the magic alarm clock by his bed. He sat straight up and stared down at the timepiece. 7 o'clock? Rats! Okay, so... I don't know who it was, but somebody pointed out a very legitimate point, which is that at the end of the last arc, I made or rather the narrator of the story made a statement that Harry wasn't going to be seen again until, quote, everything changed. And yet, here we have Harry waking up in fucking Hogwarts. Yeah. This is a problem. I'm tempted to just leave it in and say fuck it. Because I'm not rewriting this whole thing. This is a 2,500 word scene. I'm not rewriting it. Go back and shut the narrator up. Yeah, I think, honestly, Sawtooth, I think that's going to have to be the way we're going to do. I think that when we do the editing for that scene, we're simply going to have to change that final paragraph. I think that's going to be how it is, because yeah, we can't change this. This is like rewriting this would take like a good chunk of a whole writing session, and I think people want me writing new content rather than on like ironing out one error in the previous writing that I did. So yeah, when we get to editing the final scene of the last arc on a stream of some description, we're simply going to have to make a note to rewrite the final paragraph of that arc so that it doesn't say the thing that it says. Yeah, simple as that. We're just going to have to it doesn't have to be a massive rewrite. So we're just going to have to rewrite it just a tweak, just a little bit, just a tweak. Zero days before the Wizengamot weekend, 7 a.m. Beep, 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 beep. Harry smashed a fist down on the magic alarm clock by his bed. He sat straight up and stared down at the timepiece. 7 o'clock? Rats! Whipping aside the curtain to the four-poster, he flicked his wand and began a lightning-fast morning routine. Blazer Beanie stared at Harry as his toothbrush worked itself around his gums, while a brush started to lather up for a shave that probably wasn't necessary, but was damn well going to happen regardless. Never seen you up this late, the Italian-born wizard remarked. Harry's pyjamas ripped themselves from his body on his way to the shower. He'd only had a few hours to work with the memory block, but in that time, he'd worked the many locks and chains down to the point where very little force would be required to bust the memory open. He wasn't going to do that, of course. The only one capable of putting a memory charm on himself was him. He was sure the memory charm wasn't from before his time travelling, and he trusted. Wow, there's a lot going on here on this. There's a lot going on in this sentence. He wasn't going to do that, of course. The only one capable of putting a memory charm on himself was him. You know, I'm actually going to break this up. I'm actually going to remove the M dashes from this. He wasn't going to do that, of course, full stop. The only one capable of putting a memory charm on himself was him, full stop. And then I'm going to put Harry was sure. Harry was sure the memory charm wasn't from before his time travelling, and he trusted himself. But he also was sure that he'd have put contingencies in place for if or when he'd need the memory in the future. And if or when that time ever came, he wasn't about to waste hours tinkering in his mind. No, he was going to bust that sucker open the moment he knew it was time. Okay, now it wants me to put travelling to double L. Is double L British or is single L British? I can't remember. Does Italian born need to be there? Seems unnecessary. It is unnecessary, but it adds flavour and it's fine. I am aware that the use of replacing pronouns with descriptors of the person who is being referenced is a thing that can be massively overdone. And certainly there are a lot of writers who do massively overdo it. But doing it occasionally, just to provide a little bit of extra context for the character, I think it's okay. That did mean his schedule this morning was going to be a lot tighter than normal, and luck had chosen possibly the worst day imaginable for him to discover such an important nugget of information about his own psyche. In spelling mouthwash into his mouth while a fluffy towel dried him from the flowing water, Harry walked out of the shower as his clothes dressed him and shrugged. Had a late night, he remarked absently, before sweeping out of the boys' second-year dorm and towards the common room. Double L seems to be the British spelling. Excellent. Then we're doing double L then. And common room wants to be 2 words apparently. As he passed through the common room, Alex jolted up from where she'd been bent over a writing desk with a parchment and quill, furiously writing away. Furtively Alex, as she passed through the common room, Alex jolted up from where she'd been bent over a writing desk with a parchment and quill, furiously writing away. I'm going to M-dash this. Because... actually, no, I'm not. No. That's not the correct solution to that. I'm actually going to split this into 2 sentences. Furtively, she shoved the parchment. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Given the you can absolutely go up and down the sentence in terms of what it is that you're referencing. But for this particular example, I do think it's probably more clear and doesn't seem to affect the bounce and rhythm of the prose too much by splitting up the 2 sentences. So that's what I'm going to do. As he passed through the common room, Alex jolted up from where she'd been bent over a writing desk with a parchment and quill, furiously writing away. Furtively, comma, she shoved the parchment into a pocket, transformed into a grim form. Hang on a minute, we're about to... I think, aren't we about to have an ad break? Because it's 7:30 now, and we started at 6:30. So I think we should be due an ad break, like, very soon. When we break, I'm going to get up, I'm going to grab myself a bite to eat, and I'm going to come back for the stream, okay? FYI, just so everyone knows. I think that ad break should be reasonably soon. As he exited the portal, he found Luna on the other side, who latched onto him, crying about the injustice of the awful punishment she'd been forced to endure, before perking up, petting Alex, and falling into step on his other side. I'm going to clarify this slightly. The awful punishment in detention she'd been forced to endure. There, just so that everyone knows what we're talking about. The other scene with Luna was pretty recent, but I think still clarifying it is good. Yeah. But the awful punishment in detention she'd been forced to endure before perking up, petting Alex, and falling into step on his other side. As they passed the Hogwarts entranceway, Ginny jogged into view through one of the windows. Ginny jogged into view through one of the windows. What the fuck was I trying to say there? What? Oh, no. Ginny jogged into view through one of the windows. Oh, okay. No, okay. Right, no. She didn't jog into view through one of the windows. She jogged into view passing one of the windows. On the other side of the window. Right? She could be seen through the window, but Ginny did not jog through the window. This is like, yeah, okay, right. This is like, whoa. I don't usually mess up quite this bad. Damn. Okay, yeah. Okay, how do we rewrite this so that it's not, like, incredibly bad? Ginny jogged into view. Let's comma it out. Ginny jogged into view, comma, visible through one of the windows, comma, and joined them, sweaty and out of breath, through the main doorway, wearing workout clothes and carrying a broom, clearly just back from a morning workout. Yes, also, yeah, no, Ginny is not a window jogger, Zardessa. Oh, ad break is in progress. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit more than 3 minutes, I think, because I want to get up, I want to walk around, I want to cool off, I want to like, walk outside, like take in some evening air because it's getting quite hot and sweaty in this room. It's getting into summer, so yeah, and this room doesn't have air conditioning. I also want to make myself a like a pate sandwich. So we'll take a reasonably long break. Call it a 10-minute break, something like that, and we'll be back to continue editing then. So see you all soon. Hang on, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna put the microphone on off. We're back. That lasted a little longer than 10 minutes. Oh well. It is what it is. But we're back and we're going to continue on. Here we go. As they passed through the Hogwarts entranceway, Ginny jogged into view, visible through one of the windows, and joined them, sweaty and out of breath, through the main doorway, wearing workout clothes and carrying a broom. Clearly just back from a morning workout? I don't like using the same word twice there. Can we use a different word? Let's say training. Morning training. There we go. Wearing workout clothes and carrying a broom, clearly just back from morning training. Boom, done. As they made their way towards the Great Hall, they heard loud commotion coming from the corridor that led to the library, followed not long after by Hermione, trailing a dozen harried-looking Muggleborns, all carrying books and parchment up to their necks. With Harry in the centre of the four girls, plus the Muggleborns behind them, the doors to the Great Hall swung open and all heads turned. The usual chattering from students to students dropped as they entered, but quickly picked up again, albeit with a rather more conspiratorial tone. They're all going to the Wizengamot, bloody nobles. Granger's Muggleborn. I actually forgot that. Do you think they'll be expelled? Lord Slytherin would never allow it. Yeah, but Lovegood's a buggering Tyrannosaurus, and Potter's a Chimera. I think we want to spell Chimera with an A, don't we? And dueling wants to be double L's. He beat a whole dueling team single-handed. What does it matter if he's also a Chimera? You really have no clue, do you? What about Weasley? Think she'll be allowed to join the England squad? Not before Black joins the national dueling team. Quidditch is more important than dueling. Is not, is to, is not, is to. You people do realise the most important thing is the Muggle Protection Act, right? Shh, they'll hear you. Daphne Greengrass sat at the head of the Slytherin table, stood as Harry neared. Daphne Greengrass sat at the head. I'm gonna change from sat to sitting, because sitting is a passive verb, whereas sat is an active verb. Daphne Greengrass, sitting at the head of the Slytherin table, stood as Harry neared, an act that none of the politically savvy children sitting around the table, which was pretty much all of them. I'm going to M-dash that out, because that is an aside. Which was pretty much all of them, would fail to notice. The fact that Harry, as Slytherin's protege, seemed to be the de facto leader of the Slytherin students, even though he had never played any of the traditional power games in the Slytherin common room, hadn't gone unnoticed either. Daphne Greengrass officially had a more solid claim to the title of leader of the Grey Students. Daphne Greengrass officially had a more solid claim to the title of leader of the Grey Students. It sort of made sense why she might defer to him, given Potter's sheer ridiculous magical power, though many speculated on how happy she could be about this, given that she was supposed to be Slytherin's betrothed and therefore should technically outrank him. Alexandra Black's deference to Potter made even less sense. Black had more than equalled Potter's performance on the dueling field, given that she'd actually won her tournament, while Harry's run had been stalled by the accident with his brother. So why this witch, who officially ruled the dark students of Slytherin House, thought, through trickery and subterfuge, could be seen practically glued to Potter's side whenever Potter actually deigned to be in the castle at all, was a curiosity. Some suspected a secret betrothal between the houses of Potter and Black, perhaps signed when they were still babies. Maybe when the two lords had been drunk, or a secret alliance to secure the houses while Voldemort was still at large, that Harry had been sent away to be secretly trained, in secret, and that Black had grown up knowing that she would one day meet her true love, that their first meeting had been a disaster, that the Black Princess had learned to see the human side of the cold and calculating machine that was Harry James Potter. or that Gringotts had stepped in and provided the proof of their betrothal before the parents had been ready to reveal it, which led to the schism between them, and now Potter was a secret agent working for the Department of Mysteries, and Black was actually the secret protege of Nicholas and Perenelle Flamel, sent to bring justice and freedom to all. Although by that point, the some had slowly turned into just one fifth-year wizard who enjoyed reading Boy Who Lived fan fiction, which had currently started being posted as a weekly supplement by the Quibbler, to the general surprise of all, with the official approval of Headmaster Lockhart, of course. Okay, now that is one hell of a long, series of sentences, but we're gonna leave it, right? That's just, yeah. No comments. Hang on, where's my water? I need some water. Where are we on this? I've still got another third to go. Alexandra Black shifted from her grim form and sat down next to Marigold Chesterfield, one of Hermione's Muggleborns, who'd been carrying one of the largest stacks of books and parchments from the library. "I have everything we need, Harry," Hermione said proudly, whipping the first book off Marigold's pile and showing him a book of common wizarding lore so full of little sticky markers that there were literally more sticky markers than pages. "Whatever they throw at us, I'll be ready." "As will I," Daphne stated firmly. "I too have prepared everything we need." She tapped the side of her head. "I know I have made tactical and strategic mistakes in the past." This got a round of surprised looks from the Slytherin less in the know, "but this time nothing will get past me." Violet Chesterfield charmed a slice of toast to start buttering itself. "Absolutely nothing." Marigold happily bit into a breakfast sausage. "I swear." Harry looked into Daphne's eyes, so full of fire, a stark contrast from the Ice Princess persona she usually wore. "Wouldn't have it any other way," he replied. He looked between Daphne and Hermione. "I'll be relying on you two for information. We won't be able to use our special comms device," he refrained from saying ear mirrors in front of the general student body, "in the Wizengamot itself, so I'll need you to play Owl." True, they also had their Morse code rings, but they were limited in the sophistication of the messages that could be sent, the time it took to send them, and who could send and receive. Daphne and Hermione both nodded. "Alex, Ginny and Luna, I'll just wish you the best of luck." What? Okay, so that wants to be commas out there, and that wants to be quotation marks there. All three nodded. "Oh man, I'm so jealous," Tracy Davis whined. "I wish I could go on an adventure like this." Draco snorted. "Standing in front of the Wizengamot while they stare at you like a dangerous creature isn't all that fun. Trust me." For the rest of breakfast, Slytherin's chosen students ate under a constant stream of stares, whispers, and speculation from the rest of the student body, and by the time all of them were done, Ginny had changed into something a little more suitable. The owls had arrived, informing them that the Wild Wizengamot weekend starts today, and the high table had cleared out of most of the teachers, except the headmaster, who'd been eyeing Harry almost all breakfast, the way a tourist without a car might eye a lion without a meal. Who'd been eyeing Harry almost all breakfast, the way a tourist without a car might eye a lion without a meal. Harry pushed his chair back. "It is time." And indeed, the six of them only got a few meters down the hallway outside when the door back to the Great Hall opened again, and Lockhart stumbled out and towards them. Harry, Headmaster Lockhart began, before stopping at the realization that 6 pairs of young eyes were now staring at him. He jerkily motioned Harry to whispering distance, meeting him more than halfway there. "Is it okay to talk about stuff?" He put extra emphasis on the word, "in front of them." Harry looked back at Daphne, Hermione, Luna, Ginny, and Alex, then gave the man a deadpan look. "You're the one writing my biography. You should know." Which wasn't entirely fair. He'd given Lockhart a version of events, sure, but obviously not everything that he and the girls had done was going to make it in. In fact, there was going to be quite a few rather large deviations from reality. Ah, right. Yes, Lockhart babbled. I suppose that means yes. Yes, of course. I can talk about stuff in front of your people. He quickly bit off the word harem. Okay, I just thought you should know, he continued. It's the Ministry. They're really not happy about the whole ward situation with Hogwarts. You know, you still haven't given back control after the Basilisk thing. And as headmaster, I think, I thought, it might be a good idea. He trailed off in the face of Harry's stare. It will be fine, Harry eventually said. I have matters in hand. Will I still be headmaster next year? Lockhart asked, sounding defeated. Harry floated up in the air and put a hand on Lockhart's shoulder. If you're not, I promise I will not leave you hanging. A talent like yours is wasted writing children's adventure books. Alex pouted but didn't butt in. How is our little project going, by the way? At the mention of his current, most lucrative contract, Lockhart's spirits rose significantly. Very well, actually. I think I've cracked how we're going to spin this for maximum effect. I must admit, figuring out how to sell you, he hesitated briefly before ploughing on. That should be ploughing on. And what you are, let's italicize R. Actually, let's italicize you as well. How to sell you, he hesitated briefly before ploughing on, and what you are, without making the world piss its pants, isn't easy, but I'm sure I've got it now. Good. How long before we have a first draft? 1 month. Excellent. Now joined by Lockhart, they continued onwards, making their way towards the headmaster's office when they were intercepted by a predictable pairing. Can I help you? Harry asked as Professors Potter and Snape met them halfway down a corridor. I'm here to take you to the Wizengamot, Lily said in a voice that sounded so tense it could snap at any moment. You do need an adult. There was an awkward silence. Well, it was awkward for Lily, Harry suspected. All of his girls were glaring at her, saving Luna, whose look suggested she was trying to imagine how flexible his mother might be if hog-tied to a roof beam. At least, that's the kind of thing he assumed she was thinking. Even now, he could never really tell. Pardon me. I do already have an adult to escort us, he eventually replied. Lily's face fell. But, Harry continued slowly, an idea occurring to him, if you wanted to exercise your parental responsibilities as a magical guardian, I can think of some ways that could be helpful. Snape gave Lily a warning look, but Lily completely ignored it. I'll do anything, she gushed. Right next to him, Luna giggled. Damn it, Luna, not now. Thankfully, she didn't make any other comment. Then join us, Harry answered Lily's statement imperiously. The older redhead looked like she couldn't believe what she was hearing as she stepped and turned into the group's little formation. Snape regarded them with a cool eye. His gaze took in the scene, Harry in the middle of a small crowd of witches plus Lockhart, with Luna on one side and Daphne on the other. You need to be careful, Potter, he said, now explicitly focusing his eyes on him. The words didn't feel like a threat, more like a statement of fact. Will you hear the advice from your old head of house? Go on. Snape pointed at Luna on his left. She is the betrothed of your mentor, Lord Slytherin. He then pointed at Daphne on his right. She is also betrothed to your mentor. He then pointed directly at him. The way you stand now, in many noble circles, would constitute a claim of ownership over these two witches. While you may believe you have Lord Slytherin's complete confidence, do not fall into the trap of complacency. The jealousy of men can be a terrible thing. Harry thought about this. Then he thought about his mother standing behind him. Then he bowed. Thank you for your advice. I accept it in the spirit it was offered. Snape nodded. Then I wish you the best of luck at the Wizengamot. And with that, he turned and swept away. The group soon found themselves in the headmaster's office, having been joined by Lady Sunny Greengrass, Daphne's mother, at the gargoyle at the bottom of the stairs. Sonny threw a pinch of flue powder into the fire and gestured Harry forward. Harry walked into the flames. The Ministry! Once everyone was through, the office fell back into silence. 10 minutes later, John Potter and Susan Bones arrived at the gargoyle outside. Hey, why's Mum not here? Boom! Oh, hang on, we can get rid of this as well. There. Huh, okay. We are done. We're done with the writing. I'm going to take the. I'm going to take this. I'm going to publish it on the DPaSW. Oh, Mum went to get milk. Yeah, exactly. You could say that, Zardetta. I'm going to publish this to DPaSW. Then I'm going to let Svu do his magic. And while Svu is doing that, or whenever he does that, he doesn't do it immediately, necessarily. But when he does do that, or even before he does that, we're going to jump onto Hogwarts Legacy. Okay, let's load this up. Pardon me. Grey Secret, Chapter 4. I think this wants to be Chapter 77. Let's call this the Grey's Secret, Chapter 4. Publication date today. Access public. Type chapter. Book 4, the Grey Secret. And then we want to go into our document. Grab the whole thing. Copy and paste. I'm going to change that last bit from hey, why is Mum not here to hey, why is Mum not waiting for us here? Or why is Mum not waiting for us here? Or I feel like there needs to be something. It's like it's not quite let's punch you. Welcome, K-Shits. Welcome back. So we finished the editing. We're now on publishing. I'm currently... actually, we'll just leave it like this at the moment. Yeah, we don't need to change it anymore. Yeah, we're currently on publishing. I'm about to hit the go button on this on the DPaSW website. Now we'll go back out again. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Let's italicize that. Let's clear that up. Let's put that in the middle. Italicize that, put that in the middle. And I think that's the last one that needs to be done. Okay, submit. Then we go down and we turn from off to on. Then we go to dpasw.com and check that works. The Grey Secret, Chapter 4. Okay, that is now published. Nice. Okay, we're done. I am going to close this and load up Hogwarts Legacy, unless there's anything else we need to do. Can anyone think of anything else we need to do? I can't think of anything else we need to do. We should be fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's turn off the music, because we don't need that anymore. And let's turn on The Legacy of the Hogwarts. Launching, and we want to be in, is it chill? Or is it game? It's probably game, isn't it? No, it is. There we go. That's right. Okay, there we go. Yep, that's what we want. Also, I might have to go from, might have to put my headphones back in if we get sufficiently large echo in, I don't know. So, writing questions. Am I an outliner or a pantser? I am very, very, very much an outliner. Yeah. I would say that I fall far closer to the outlining spectrum than the pantsing spectrum. Here's the thing. Everyone is a pantser to some extent, right? Because whether or not you are a pantser, it's just a question of like how detailed is your outline. Because even people who claim to be 100% pantsers, even they aren't really pantsers. Because even if you have a vague idea that, oh, I want a happily ever after, or the story's going to end with a dramatic climax, the moment that you say that, oh, you're already outlining, right? So everyone is an outliner to some degree, but everyone's also a pantser, because you can't have because you always need to make stuff up in between the beats of your outline, whatever your outline is. So, yeah, I would say that I am still developing my capabilities as a writer, but as I learn more and more about myself, I come to appreciate that I do work much better with an outline, especially once a story reaches a certain size. And most commercially driven fiction will be of that size. Yeah, simple as that. Welcome back, Svu. We have finished the editing. Yep, the editing is finished. It's up on DPaSW.com. It is waiting for your magic touch. Yeah. It's Harry Potter. It's appropriate phrasing. Okay. Here we go. Now, where were we in the story? We had just finished creeping through the library. We had just finished creeping through the library, doing the stealth stuff, which I did actually find quite fun. Right? I mean, yes, it was obviously a thing that had to be learned how to do, but I did actually find it quite fun. I was actually a little bit disappointed that it was possible to sort of cheese the stealth by just sort of like by just running straight towards the next check mark, and then once you got to the next check mark it had saved, and it didn't matter if you got caught after that, you could just like reload the check mark and it would be fine. That was actually a little disappointing. I would prefer it actually, I think, if you had to do like the entire stealth run all in one go with like no mess ups, but that might involve balancing the game better. So maybe that's why they put the check marks in, because they're like, man, this is actually really hard to make it sufficiently challenging that like the majority of the people can do it, but not so challenging that they can't actually do it. Sawtooth, I struggle deeply with keeping inertia after writing 50k words into a draft. That's actually about my limit as well, Sawtooth. Like, once I've gone past 50k, it does seem, let me put it like this, I have never gone past 50k in a story without seriously either an outline already prepared, or without going back into it and outlining the whole thing based on what I've written. My current project that I'm working on, Death, Taxes and Sexy Women, that we've got an outline for, as many of you know who are on the stream because you were there when I did it. And that outline is like 45 to 50,000 words long for a book which is going to probably be about 120 to 140,000 words. So yeah, the outline to like final word ratio is quite steep there. Okay, so we are returning to Professor Fig's classroom. And the thing says it's over there. It's up there. Okay. Do we go upstairs? Ah, can we use the flu system? The flu system. Is it an E?
Revelio.
No. Is it a T? No. I hate the fact that I have to relearn the key buttons every single time. Is it B? B? No. What was that? What is that? Tomes and Tribulations. Fig will be interested to see the book I found below the restricted section. I should take it to him. Oh! V is... Oh, I see! Oh, that's really cool. We have a physical representation of our menu book in the world. And you can summon it by pressing V, and you get like a little reminder about the quest you're on. But then if you press escape, you get the actual book. That's actually really cool. I actually really like that. Can anyone remember how you activate the flu system? Because none of the buttons I'm pressing is doing the job.
Revelio.
Yes, well, where this is there. Taser, just need to walk near it, don't you? Apparently no. Once you've unlocked flu flames, simply open your mouth. Oh, okay, so I need to unlock the flu flames. I haven't unlocked them yet, maybe. Oh, I have to open the map to do it? That's incredibly unintuitive. Oh, I don't like that at all. Side quests are now available. Available side quests can be found inside regions of Hogwarts marked with flags and discovered by exploring the world. These quests reward XP, but do not advance the main story. Okay. The Bell Tower Wing. The Great Hall. The Grand Staircase. These look like locations rather than... Oh, Flu Flame locations. Oh, I see. Oh, nice. Okay, let's try this. Bell Tower Courtyard. Go. Oh, I see. I'm limited. Oh, I haven't discovered these other flues, maybe? Let's try going to this one, the West Tower. Tazar's just subscribed with Prime Gaming. Thank you very much for the subscription, Tazar. Great to have you on board. You have just gained an egg, maybe. Yep, it is possible to join the channel with a Prime sub. Not only does this gain you the emotes and various other things, but it should also unlock the subscriber only parts of the Discord server, which, among other things, contain the normally Patreon only updates to Dodging Prison and Stealing Witches. So if you do have a free Prime and you are not a patron, then that is one way to gain access to the early access content. Where am I going here? Yes, eggs. Eggs are good. Already on Patreon, yeah. I'm going to say the number of people who are on Patreon now is absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, we have slowed down a lot over the last week, but May, as far as a month for the Patreon program, has been absolutely mind-boggling. Really, yeah, just good. it's put me in a position where I don't in any way feel guilty about sitting down to write Dodging Prisoners, Stealing Witches. Because before there was always I'm getting screen tearing, that's not good. Before there was always a feeling when I was writing Dodging Prisoners, Stealing Witches that I really should be working on other projects, like as a priority, because, you know, I need to live. But the Patreon program has now reached the point where I'm still not like 100% in the clear, and won't be for like a lot. And I don't anticipate that Dodging Prisoners, Stealing Witches, like by itself, will put me in that position. But I am sufficiently like, the Patreon program is going sufficiently well that that I am no longer afraid immediately for the future, for the writing. Obviously, that can, you know, still go horribly wrong, because, you know, stuff can still happen, but you just have to handle that as and when it happens. You are not Professor Fig. Professor Fig is up there. Oh, I've got a freaking... Really? I've got a thing showing me where to go? Oh, I'm not sure I like that. I feel like I might have to turn that off. Taser, by the way, am I playing as Alex or just a similar look? It depends on what you mean by that. I mean, like, the character that we've created is literally called Alexandra Black. Hang on, can I bring up my character? Gear, will that do it? Yeah, here we go. Alexandra Black. Level 8. So to the best of my ability, yes, I did create the character to try and resemble Alexandra Black. To the best of the ability that I had. This character is not actually how I imagine Alexandra Black, but it is the closest I could do. So, yeah. We actually spent about an hour, a couple streams back, trying to, deciding effectively what wand Alexandra Black has, because we were asked in-game to create a wand for our character, but in canon of Dodging Prisoners, Stealing Witches, I've never specified what Alexandra Black's wand is. So we've now got a kind of out of universe canon, like Word of God situation on what her wand is. That came through playing the game and figuring out, like, oh, you know, Alex would have this kind of wood and she would have that kind of core and all this kind of stuff. Ebony. Yeah, I think it was ebony. Hang on, let me just check. How do I find out what my wand is? Gear, maybe? Wand. Choose a look for my wand. What? But I've already got my wand, haven't I? Yeah, classic black. Classic black, wood type ebony, core type dragon heartstring, flexibility unbending. Wand length 14¼ inches. And we wait. Continue the story. Oh, okay. I wait and then I do something. Very militaristic. You know, hurry up and wait. And then hurry up some more. Oh, hello. Ah, right.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with rookwood makes no sense.
Professor Sharp.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Is this Snape?
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
Not sure what to think about the name Professor Sharp. It's a bit, I don't know. We'll have to see what this Professor Sharp is like. Incidentally, I'm not against the idea of pulling names from this story to use in Dodging Prisoners, Stealing
You
Witches.
accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Didn't
Fair
you
enough.
send me
In
there?
fact, the book was below the restricted section, as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones in the movies are pretty freaking small, aren't they?
Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time.
Welcome back,
I wonder why
Cassius.
it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive, Godric's heart.
The
Yeah,
man
all
we
over the
saw
place.
before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
In the second, they were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
Of course, or what would you tell them? I think we request more information. This guy seems to be quite forthcoming.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
Okay, we can do
I
that.
understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention
I
in
can already beat down
herbology and
3
potions.
students at once.
There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Okay, so we've been given 2 things on our to-do list. Oh, we got a whole bunch of experience from that. Nice. Okay, so what are we doing now then? You're currently not tracking anything. A new quest available. Open quest log. Crossed Wands Round 3. The final round of dueling is available at Crossed Wands. It will determine the champion of the school. I should see Lucan Brattleby. The rich kid. Live as a student. Attend herbology class. And herbology class does in fact appear to be the next item on the list. And it is part of the main quest line as well. So we've got Crossed Wands, which doesn't appear to be the next, which doesn't appear to be on the main quest line. The Daedalian Keys. And spell combination practice. I guess we go to herbology class. Let's track this. Are we tracked? Yes, we're tracked. Okay. 5% of challenges. Oh, hang on. This is the percentage of challenges. This doesn't indicate, like, how far through the story are we. Oh, shit, we've got talents. This game has a talent tree? Huh. Oh, dear. Okay. I guess at some point we might actually have to start playing like an RPG instead of just a sort of highly sophisticated visual novel. But until we reach a...
I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Another thing to do, okay.
Professor Fig and Weasley
Jesus.
have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
Yep. Okay, so we've got 2 other things to do as well. Yeah, I'm not... I think what we'll do is we'll simply just keep on playing through the game. until we reach a challenge that it takes like a ridiculously large amount of time to plow through, that requires us to engage with like some of the other game systems, like I don't know, crafting, I guess. I don't know if this game has equipment crafting, or if you just like buy it, or you just find it drops off of enemies. Or if we need to like go practice our dueling, or like power up our spells, or find better spells or something, I don't know. But we'll just keep on plowing through with the story quest until we reach a point where we can't progress with what we've got so far. You can craft a lot, okay. This game feels more and more like a game of fanfic. I've said my piece on my feelings towards the way that this game, handles its like integration of game mechanics and like the storytelling. I like the book. The fact that the book that is the main menu exists as an artifact within the game universe that you can like open up. I like that a lot. That's very cool. I'm less of a fan about the fact that it refers to spells as unlockables. You know, like you unlock spells as opposed to learning them. I'm less of a fan of that. Oh, we have to go through the tutorial, okay. Select the world map button to switch to the world map. Okay. This is the world map. Most of the map is covered by fog, limiting what you can see. Hamlets are small communities throughout the world. Well, I'm not entirely sure you can call this the world, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm sure that some people think of it as the world. Hamlets provide new opportunities for vendors, Flue Flames, side quests, and collectibles. This is a hamlet, Lower Hogsfield. Lower Hogsfield is located in the countryside and is the closest hamlet to Hogwarts. Okay, so what's Hogsmeade then? Does Hogsmeade not count as a hamlet? What is it, like a village, I guess? In reverence to the school that taught them all, the inhabitants decided on the name Hogsfield. However, around the same time, the villagers of Upper Hogsfield also opted for the name Hogsfield after Hogsmeade. Thus, an unhappy compromise was decided upon, and each village added a qualifier to their name. Cute. Okay, I like that kind of world building. I do like that kind of world building. As you explore, you will remove fog and reveal more of the map. Well, I'm all for that exploration. Unveiling new opportunities like hamlets, dungeons. This game has dungeons? You were right, you were right, K-Shits. This is starting to feel more and more like a gamer fanfic. Damn, even I didn't put dungeons into dodging prison and stealing witches. Okay. Continue. New quest available. Jesus, I feel like there's just so much stuff that's being thrown at me. The girl from Wagadu. Oh, she actually comes from Wagadu. She's like an exchange student? Huh. Oh, is that Natty? Oh, so Natty is actually like not a British, like British born and raised. Hang on a minute, am I missing the wrong person? Sorry, no. Sorry, I'm confusing Natty with the Indian girl. Anyway, interesting. Professor Hackett's assignment number 2. Let's go see Natty. Or we could progress this in the order of which we have levels. Level 3 versus level 4. No, I want to go see Natty. I want to go see like the outside world a bit. We'll do the herbology class afterwards. Map. Okay.
I've always said that travel...
Yeah, you can always say that like somewhere else. Not giving you, okay, no, not this way. Somewhere around here, maybe there's a door. Oh no, there's more downwards.
Spare a moment? I could use your help.
Nope. No side quests. Not right now. Duncan Hobhouse. Holy crap, it's literally Harry Potter. Look at this character. Look at this guy. This guy is literally Harry Potter. I mean, he's Ravenclaw, so he's not, but... Okay.
I wonder if you might be able to help me with a small, project.
No. No distractions. We go somewhere else. How do I get over there?
In trouble, are we? Been up to no good? Thought as much.
Nope. I'm not gonna use the map because I want to like instinctively know my way around this place. So hang on, does that just lead back to the same place? Yes, it does. Okay, so these stairs and those stairs, those stairs are completely worthless. Like they have literally no meaning whatsoever because they just go up there, where you just go back down again. It's like why are those stairs even there? I mean, I guess they're part of those steps, but even so. It seems like this entire building is just one large set of staircases. You just use the yellow thingy to follow. You'll slowly learn the castle. Okay, but how do I... Ah, it is that thing. Okay. Yep, we'll use... Oh, there's a door here! Okay. Yeah, we'll compromise on the yellow follow me line. But we're not going to use the flu. I refuse to use the flu. I want to run everywhere like a peasant. At least until I get a broom. I've heard you can fly in this game. I don't know if you can fly indoors in this game. Someone passed me a note in class with a heart on it. I went bright red. Said the Hufflepuff student. Because, of course, it was a Hufflepuff student. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this, this view. That's pretty cool. And the whole area? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I could totally imagine myself growing up here. Yeah, I could imagine spending my school days in a far worse place than this. Yep. I also like the fact that there isn't any music playing. It's just the sounds of nature. Maybe music will kick in at some point, but right now, it's very peaceful. Also, our girl Alex is like a real cross-country runner. Oh, what's this? Mining? How do we mine?
Potato. Revelio.
T is the spells. Essential. Revelio. Potato. Stupefy. These are just spells. Do you also hear her saying potato instead of potato?
Potato.
Yeah, I can hear it. I mean, I think I got it. Yeah. There was definitely a potato-y kind of feel to that. I hear music. Oh! We just whack it with our wand. Do we pick stuff up? Are we collecting anything? There isn't anything popping up on the screen that is telling me that I've... Oh yes, it is. Moonstone. I see it. Okay, we are collecting moonstone. Excellent. But we'll pick it up just in case. You never know if we might need it, or we might be able to trade it for something. Who knows? I can't imagine that there's a huge price on items that are literally just lying around. It's not generally how economics works, but you never know with these games. Also, we're in the middle of an ad break right now, which I'm aware. But I think the majority of our audience right now is a... I think the majority of our audience right now is subbed, so it shouldn't be a problem. This is really, really nice. Got the castle there. If I go over here, this is the Great Lake. Now that is definitely a lake. And over there, is that a bridge, I guess, that you can see from Hogwarts? So the thing about that bridge is that bridge is a copy of the bridge that spans over like one of the Vales, like going through the middle of England, that was built in the Industrial Revolution, like the big brick bridge that featured in the movie, right? But that's not where that bridge is in real life. Yeah. So, not sure about that. Yeah, I think it's the one from the movie too, but the thing is that the one from the movie exists in real life, right? Like, that bridge is real, and it's not there, I can tell you that. Now, what do you need to tell me?
It is good to see you, my friend.
Right, now what did we need to talk about that you needed to bring me all the way out here and we couldn't simply have a chat behind the bike sheds? There were some scenes with Harry and Remus and Harry and Hermione. Okay, I'll take your word for that. I haven't actually seen like all the Harry Potter movies.
It is good to see you, my friend.
I probably should at some point. But I just like the book so much more. Now, talk to me, exchange student.
How are you?
I am well, thank you. I was there, and I saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow at the Three Broomsticks. I have been worried about you.
I'm all right at the moment.
If you don't mind my asking, why were they looking for you?
Okay, so do we trust in the foreigner? Do we trust the foreigner? Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. They want something I found. I can't say. Well, it's not as though we're telling them what. It's not as though I think we can tell them that they want something we found, because it's not as though we're telling them what we found, right? And it's not as though she could tell anyone who would be bad to tell who doesn't already know that they were looking for something, right? After last time, I know she will share everything like she did with the Slytherin kid. Oh shit! Has she got a past? I completely forgot about this. Did we have an interaction with her where she like let a whole bunch of stuff slip about someone else? Because if that happened, then fuck no, we're not telling her anything. We're going to keep our lips firmly sealed. Okay. I can't say. I mean, to progress, you have to share, probably. I mean... Whoa, that was cool. Did you see the dragonfly just sit past the viewfinder, the camera? That was really cool. I can't say.
I've never met Rookwood or Harlow. Perhaps they mistook me for another student.
That's not what I asked you to say.
The two of them pursuing a Hogwarts student so intently. But
Well,
whatever
I'm just
the
that
reason,
hot, can't you
were
see?
clearly in danger. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us.
Both of
to
us?
all of us.
Oh.
Which is why I wanted to speak to you. Everyone has been talking about you defending Hogsmeade from that troll attack.
Yeah,
And I shall
I'm
never
badass.
forget watching Serona stand up to Rookwood and Harlow in the Three Broomsticks. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matibililand. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Why is the sound so echoey? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. That should do the job now. Coming through the speakers, right? This could get dangerous. Let's see what she's made of.
Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair on their own. And you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock.
I had heard they were seen in Hogsmeade together. All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right. But how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
Be on your guard.
A couple of thoughts have occurred to me. One, our Hogwarts students aren't actually that...
How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
Okay, that's the thing. Yeah, convenient that a Hogwarts student knows how to take down a criminal empire. I know, right? A couple of things have occurred to me. Firstly, the Hogwarts student uniform doesn't appear to be that uniform. I mean, maybe there's like differences between like the like the different houses, maybe, but maybe not. On the other hand, maybe she's a transfer student, so maybe that, I don't know. But yeah, a bit weird that. Another thing I've noticed, yeah, I can change my clothes, yeah, sure. But I'm the protagonist. Of course I can change my clothes. It's like, of course. I'm the protagonist. The other thing that has occurred to me is that it would be really cool if the other students' dialogue changed depending on what house you had chosen. Because it just occurred to me that like Natty is like kind of like stereotypically Gryffindor, right? She's like aggressive and like we've got to be heroes. We've got to do something. I'm going to charge in and save the world, right? That's Natty, right? That's what Natty's just effectively said. She called me out here to say I'm going to be a hero and charge in and save the world, which is very Gryffindor, right? It would be incredibly cool if Natty's conversation had like taken into account the fact that I was a Slytherin, and she says like, well, she, yeah, and just the dialogue like slightly alters because of her expectations of what a Slytherin is like. I think that would be really cool, but needs must. You know, it's RPG. You like to be able to role play, right? I must say they're doing a good job with some things and not so good a job with others. But I guess we help the stranger because we're just a massive busybody, I guess. Can we, like, lock this flue down? Do we have access to this flue point now? Not that I want to use it. Yes, we've unlocked that flue point. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what I needed to do to unlock that flue point, whether it's a story thing or I just needed to get near it. But we'll see. Let's go over here and find out what the trouble is. I get the feeling I'm about to pull out my wand and, like, wreck some fools.
They must have come this way. Think!
Dark Wizard.
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be...
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
Here we go.
Stop that at once.
I can't remember how to dodge.
Trying to make me an admirer of your talents,
Oh,
are we?
it's cold.
Incendio.
Wreck this. Nothing too advanced. It's not as though it's a troll, right? Oh, I guess I could grab this guy and smack him some. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, you've got. Oh, I suppose I could also. Here, let's pull this. Let's grab this guy here and really wreck him. Damn! That is like. This combat is. Whoa! What is this? Look at the threads this woman is sporting. Jesus Christ, she looks like she's about to, like, go into some kind of theatre production or something.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
You take this student over my dead body! Not so tough now, are ya?
Let's take down the small ones first. Get them out of the way. Yeah, get wrecked, fool. Let's bring you here. Come here. Fun. Complete the battle in time. Oh!
What on earth just happened? I've
Was
never
I under a
been
timer?
accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Yeah, what the fuck is Ashwinder Duelist? I've got no idea. I mean, I assumed that I just murdered 3 people, but yeah, dark wizards out here getting schooled by first year, 5th year. Yeah, it is a lot more brutal than Avada Kedavra. Yeah, it really is. Also, this is a very interesting place to literally pitch your tent. I mean, I guess you might get some custom on the side of this random dirt road. I guess if someone knows you're here. What is this? This looks like a ritual circle. Okay, Nora. Give us the beans.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why 2 Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Who that?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies.
You sounded like you were blaming me then.
On you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
I keep telling these people
Well,
I'm just
you've
hot,
avoided them
but they
for the
don't.
moment.
They can't accept
Fear
that.
warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
Research. How interesting. Who is Priya? Oh, I see. That's like, that says hurry it along. I don't care about this. And then question mark is I'm actually asking you a question. You see, here's the thing. Okay, you see, here's the thing, right? When when I saw the sentence research full stop how interesting full stop, 2 sentences, my immediate reaction was, oh, I'm asking you about my research. You know, that is literally like I'm like saying, hey, could you please tell me more about your research? But the game apparently just thinks that I'm just trying to hurry the conversation along with that. Okay, who is Priya? Tell it to me.
You mentioned someone named Priya.
Yes,
Priya.
my wife. She's the one who piqued my interest in Merlin.
Your
Gave
wife.
me a book when we were students at Hogwarts. Typical hard-working Hufflepuff, brilliant potioneer, has her own shop in Knockturn Alley. She's a travelling vendor. Here's what's going on in the Highlands before I do.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about this. I mean, I am going to say anything about this because it's Am I going to say anything about this? So much of the world building about Harry Potter implies that the wizarding world is like non-progressive and backwards. So to have same-sex marriage like be a legal thing in the 1800s, it does feel weird from that perspective. The thing is that there's plenty of ways, and this is exactly the same thing as I was talking about with the whole sort of, you know, like massively diverse student range at Hogwarts in the 1800s as well. There are plenty of reasons in the scope of world building for the wizarding world that could easily explain the kind of you know, this kind of like progressivist or liberal thought during this time period. So many so. Like, I mean, the fact that the wizarding world has the ability to change their bodies, to disguise their bodies, to shift from one form to another at a whim, at a potion, at a spell, transfiguration, etc., etc. There are so many things in the wizarding world which would make these kind of relationships kind of like almost tame and standard by comparison. So it's not a surprise, but at the same time, there's also lots in the world building of Harry Potter that that postulates that the wizarding world is intolerant, backward, classist, racist, and all kinds of other stuff as well. So it's just like a weird mix-mash. It's like a weird mismatch, and. Do I want more world building on it? Like, do I want them to try and explain it? I guess in some ways. I mean, like I said, I can do the world building in my own head, but I don't think I should really have to, right? I don't think that I, as a reader, should be forced to, like, do the world building of the story for them in my own head while I'm, like, experiencing it. I don't know. Also, as per this game, 1800s is a lot more diverse than the canon. Yeah, but like I said, there is like I said, Kashitz, there are lots of ways that can be explained. In fact, that's actually easier to explain, in my opinion. The whole like we're massively diverse in like the 1800s in England. That's really easy to explain because the magical world, the wizarding world, has got so much means of magical travel. And it's also a smaller community. So it's a smaller community which is supposed to be insular. So the idea that we have wizards and witches from all over the world traveling and doing exchange and like living in other parts of the world from the part that they were born in, that I can completely like buy into. I can completely agree. Like that makes perfect sense. But again, it's also not explained, right? It's also not built into the world building. And I wish they would do that because otherwise it feels like I'm just being presented with sort of like well, of course it's this way. Like, why would it not be this way? Sort of statements like, are you saying it should be some other way? You know, like sort of backhanded, sort of like under the table kind of. What are you saying? Huh? What are you saying? Are you saying it shouldn't be diverse? Huh? Are you saying that we shouldn't have progressive values in our game? Huh? Are you saying like that? Huh? And no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'd like some story building. I'd like world building. I want to know why. I want to experience it. I want to understand. And it feels, and not doing it while simultaneously doing it kind of feels like cowardice. It actually happened in India. Please continue. What part of what I was saying happened in India? Because obviously I'm aware of a good chunk of the history between the two countries, but not all of it. I consider myself an enthusiastic amateur historian on such matters, but certainly not a professional. As I said, in a game like Hogwarts Legacy, I agree, but in games like Elden Ring, connecting and trying to make sense of the world building is part of the fun, so it definitely has its place. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I haven't played Elden Ring, but I'm aware of the premise of the story, right? The Elden Ring is a discovery game, right? Elden Ring is a game in which you are dumped into a setting and you have to figure out the world from clues and scraps and things that are left around. It doesn't tell you what the world is. You have to figure it out. But Hogwarts Legacy is not like that. Hogwarts Legacy is a story told almost like a book, which just makes perfect sense given the history of the story. Yeah. Keisha, it was very progressive in terms of sex, religion, and more, and then the British came. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. I can quite believe that. Oh, right, we were being told who Paia was. She's a travelling vendor. Here's what's going on in the Highlands before I do.
You're a researcher.
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Huh. Interesting. I thought Merlin was a myth. Do we want to expand upon this? I kind of want to hear what I want to hear what the game has to say about Merlin.
I thought that Merlin and the tales about King Arthur's court were mere myth.
Mere myth? You're lucky Sir Cadogan didn't hear you. Chatters on endlessly about his connection to Merlin from his portrait at Hogwarts. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
Okay, so here's one problem I do have with this. My understanding was that in the canon of Harry Potter, this isn't just something for like dodging prison and stealing witches, but my understanding was that in the canon of Harry Potter, Hogwarts was founded in 1000 AD. Like it was like founded about 1,000 years ago. That was my understanding of the. Oh, I don't know if the individual who just pledged on Patreon is with us, but if you are, thank you very much for the new patron. Yeah, my thoughts or my understanding was that Hogwarts was founded in like 1000 AD, and we all know from story that Merlin was a figure who appeared in like 500 AD. So a bit of a weird one there. Also, yeah, Merlin is a snake confirmed. We've actually known this. We have... I can't remember where it came from, but there is... I think it might have been the Chocolate Frogs book that was released a while back. There was a book that was released a while back that contained like information about like famous witches and wizards in it from the Harry Potter canon, and one of them was Merlin. In fact, Merlin appeared in the very first Harry Potter book, because when Harry gets on the train and he starts his chocolate frog collection, one of the first chocolate frogs that he gets in the collection, obviously the first one was Dumbledore, but by the end of the train journey, one of the chocolate frogs that Harry got on the first train journey to Hogwarts was Merlin. I remember that. Acacius, medieval, dates unknown, most famous wizard of all time, sometimes known as the Prince of Enchanters, part of the court of King Arthur, Merlin's chocolate frog card. So if they connect Merlin with King Arthur, then there's some serious time shenanigans going on here. Maybe they were time travelers. I mean, time travel does exist within the canon, right? Although it does make me wonder exactly like when specific inventions happened, because I mean I'm sure that the story doesn't. I'm sure that like the people who are in charge of the IP development of this franchise, which I want to say is J.K. Rowling, but I don't know. I'm sure that they want. I suspect that they don't want to like nail themselves down to stuff like this, so that they don't have to worry about like continuity in future stories. You know, because because I wouldn't be surprised if in a future story which takes place in like 1000 AD, right? Supposing we have another like Hogwarts Legacy 2, which takes place 1000 years at the start of Hogwarts founding, right? It features like Godric Gryffindor and Helga Hufflepuff and all the rest. If that doesn't include something like chocolate frog cards, for example, because you know, chocolate frog cards are based off of a Muggle invention that happened in like the late 20th century, and a Muggle idea, but we're going to include it 1000 years ago because it's just part of the canon and part of the story now, and it's just too marketable. Out of universe, I'm pretty sure the original source for Merlin being a Slytherin was the Slytherin version of the welcome to your new house message you got after being sorted in one version of Pottermore. I'm also pretty sure that those weren't actually written by Rowling, though she probably did sign off on it. Whoa, Kashit, you are just critting us with text here. I'm also pretty sure those weren't actually written by Rowling, but I didn't look very hard either. There may be other Pottermore references to Merlin's house, but I haven't actually seen any that came from Rowling, so the entire thing is only very dubiously canon to begin with. Oh, but it's in this story now, so, you know. Rowling is also very bad at math. Well, you'll have no arguments from me on that. So it is very in character for her to mess up the dates that badly. Possibly in-universe explanations. The legends of Merlin and Arthur got a bit mixed up when the Statute of Secrecy happened. Yeah, that's possible. You could go with that. You could go with that. Although that would imply certain things about the Roman Empire, which the Muggles like really don't know, right? Because obviously many of the stories of Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table assume a Roman Empire that has only just left Britain, not a Roman Empire that left Britain 500 years ago. Because the original story of King Arthur was the story of Arthur defending effectively Wales against the Anglo-Saxons, you know, the migrants and invaders, what we would now call the English. Which is rather ironic on many levels. On many levels. Yeah. Merlin did live in the 10th century. The story about him in Arthur's... you're talking about in the Harry Potter canon. Merlin did live in the 10th century. The story about him in Arthur's court was self-insert fanfics the people started believing were true. There were two different Merlins, or a Merlin and a Mirrodin. who lived 400 years apart, and their stories have gotten mixed together. Time travel shenanigans, his ghost portrait or something similar claimed that he would have been sorted into Slytherin had Hogwarts existed when he was a child. The founders named him an honorary Slytherin or had him as a sort of mascot of the house. The other houses may have also had witches and wizards assigned to them who were famous historical figures at the time. Slytherins have claimed him as their own, possibly because he would have fit there, or possibly to make themselves feel better for being the house of evil, racism, and very few redeeming qualities. I disagree with that statement. Oh, you're flooding it with Reddit theory. Okay. Over time, people have forgotten or chose to ignore this fact that he wasn't actually part of the house. Okay. Yeah. Also, that part about Slytherin being like the house of like evil, racism, and very few redeeming qualities. This is pure Gryffindor propaganda, and we all know it. Didn't this research mention Merlin and the Court of Arthur in the same breath just before? Yes, she did. She did just that. And if you want to consider Hogwarts Legacy as canon, here's the thing. Considering Hogwarts Legacy to be canon is kind of weird because there are lots of elements in this story that I'm looking at and I'm thinking, I could totally like accept this as canon, right? There's lots of stuff going on here that I'm like, yeah, I can accept this as canon. And even stuff that I'm thinking, I would kind of like the idea of like, of integrating this into DPaSW. You know, there's some stuff here that I'm like thinking that about. At the same time, there's other stuff that I'm like, no, just no. Like the idea that flues can be just like a tiny little brazier flame that's like stuck onto the side of a building, and that you can just like put your hand into it presumably and like zoom off. I'm just like, no, just no. Like, no, I don't accept that. But there are other things. Like this whole concept of ancient magic, for example, and the ability to see magic. This I like. I like this as an expansion of magical capability into the world. What's my opinion on the upcoming TV series? I have not got one. I don't even know it exists. Is there an upcoming Harry Potter TV series? Because that's... I'm probably not going to watch it. I might watch reviews on it. I might watch analyses of it. I'm probably not going to watch it myself. Who's making it? Who's making it? Is it Amazon? Is it Amazon? Is it like Disney? Oh, sorry. It'll be Warner Brothers, won't it? Of course, it'll be Warner Brothers, won't it? Warner Brothers is going to make it. HBO's making it. You see, if you had HBO, yeah, HBO is probably like the best of a very like bad bunch. If you had asked me, if you had said, oh, HBO's making it, and you had said this like 15 years ago, then I'd have been like, oh, that's going to be really good. These days, it might be good. It might be terrible. I've no idea. I've no way of knowing. I don't generally watch TV. I don't generally watch movies. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but I have a general policy, which can shift depending on the media we're talking about. But I have a general policy that I try not to consume any form of entertainment, with the exception of like computer games, I guess, that took more than one person to make. Because I hate the idea of storytelling by committee. Storytelling by committee is like, it's just so bad. And I want to know who's telling the story. You know, I want to know who's telling the story. So I can engage with like the author at a philosophical level, which you can't do if the story is just sort of mashed together by a group of writers in a writing room. I mean, sometimes they can produce something amazing, but my experience, over the last X number of years, I've become like disillusioned with that kind of storytelling medium. Nowadays I basically limit myself to books. From the Western world, I limit myself to books and some computer games, and audiobooks, which are just audio versions of books, and also Japanese media, like Japanese manga and to a lesser extent Japanese anime. I know that those often don't have only one person in creative control, but often they do. And often they, and again, I'm more of a manga reader than an anime watcher. I generally read more manga than I watch anime because I'm a reader, just in general. And to me, Japan has kind of proven that they get a pass more than the Western writing industry does, I guess, when it comes to TV shows and films, at least. The Western book writing industry is very good. Sometimes, many times. Obviously, it depends on the author, but there are lots and lots of very, very good Western book writers. Japan, I feel, gets more of a pass when it comes to like storytelling by committee, simply because they've come up with so much stuff that I look at and I'm like, yeah, this is really, really good. Like I'm like, this is really good. Yeah. Yeah, they also botched Game of Thrones. Yeah, that whole thing seemed incredibly unprofessional, to an almost just incredibly depressing degree. But regardless, I'm probably not going to be watching it, but I might watch summaries. I might watch summaries just so that I can like be up on what's going on in there. But I don't think I'm going to watch the shows themselves for entertainment. Anyway, let's continue on. I want to see if we can get at least one more like major story plot thread done before we finish up tonight. Yeah, I generally agree with that, Sawtooth. Yeah. I think that in Western media, the money is actually generally more like important than the politics, regardless of what many people on the internet would tell you. But there is no doubt that like that a desire to frame a message of some kind is important to Western writers to a degree that does seem to detract from their ability to hone their craft to the extent required to actually create satisfying narratives. I could speculate endlessly on why that is. I personally suspect it's got something to do with writers being hired straight out of university who have writing degrees, rather than writers who have like come up through the ranks and been proven to be good writers in the trenches. Like in my opinion, like the writing industry for things like HBO and like the movies and stuff, writers should go up through the ranks through places like Royal Road and fanfiction.net and AO3, and that's where like good writers should be discovered and found and like brought up through the ranks, rather than just like, oh, I've come out of university and now I'm going to get a junior staff position in a writing room, and from there I'm going to like slowly fail my way upwards to like this position and then that position and this position and that position, and never actually like being personally responsible for like any one major success, because the success is diluted among like 15 other writers, so no one can actually tell if you yourself are like responsible for like the success of any one project, and you just keep on getting shoveled from like position to position. Like I am aware that there is a very large meritocratic element in writer's room in the Western writing industry. I'm aware that there's a very large meritocratic element to it. The problem is that the judgment of that meritocracy is not based on the reception to the product from viewers. Rather, it is the opinion of editors and producers that is the true success metric for a young writer. That is to say that if you are a young writer in the Western writing industry, writing in TV or in film, the most important metric is does your script, which you have to write, you do have to write lots of scripts. Does the script that you are using in your portfolio impress the editor? That's the primary success metric. It's not, does your script that went into this project end up pulling in X number of eyeballs? And that creates a very skewed meritocracy. And I suspect, based on my limited knowledge, that Japan's meritocratic funnel for writers is more focused on whether readers like them, and subsequently viewers for anime, than it is in the West. And I suspect that is what accounts for the difference between the two industries. I think. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Here's the one thing. I have no doubt whatsoever that HBO, if HBO is in charge of making a Harry Potter TV series, I have no doubt that the magic is going to look incredible. The magic's going to look incredible. The visuals are going to look incredible. Everything is going to be like... everything is going to look mind-blowingly good. But the thing looking mind-blowingly good is not how I judge a story. And that's the problem, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. We're getting way off topic. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas. How fascinating.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well, then, I'll let you in on a little secret.
Yes, do.
No one has yet managed to figure out how they work.
Ah, excellent.
But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue.
Oh,
I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis.
So we're about
I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
So we're about to unlock the trials of Merlin, which presumably haven't been ever completed in well, I was going to say 1,000 years, but at this point I guess it's 800 years. Alex standing there thinking, when the fuck are they going to get done talking? Yeah, Alex can see outside of the fourth wall. She's just like standing there with her arms crossed, saying, what the fuck are they going on with? Okay, get the Mallowsweet from the trunk.
This trunk?
Yes, this trunk.
Take plenty, even if you already have some.
Search trunk.
I have the Mallowsweet.
5 leaves.
Lovely.
That's full.
Now,
the trunk is full of 5 leaves.
Here, as well as a stone
Okay, I noticed the vines on the pillars here, as well as...
Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swirl, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, each trial has its features. Place the Mallowsweet on... Am I supposed to do it here? Here? No? Oh! It is here. Okay. Well... You don't know the diameter of the leaves. I suspect we're about to see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, those leaves are pretty small.
My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
I did see that. The vines disappeared.
What should I do now?
This is uncharted territory. I am curious about these pyres.
Well, let's load them up.
Incendio!
No? Okay.
Merlin's beard!
Yeah!
Flames make the pyre sink.
I mean, there's only a limited number of things you can do with a pyre, let's face it. Also, this Incendio spell is actually bonkers. Like, it's only a brick... What the fuck just happened?
Curious. The pyres are back where they started.
You have to do it in a certain order? How many pyres are there? 3. Okay, there are only so many combinations. Let's go. Okay, we've already done left, center. So we've already done right, center, left. Let's do left, center, right. Oh, hang on. There was a time limit, was there? Oh, okay. Right. I didn't spot that.
Incendio.
Oh, of course, because they descend into the ground. There we go. Well spotted, Zardetta. Well spotted. Or well thought, actually. Or well something. Whatever it was you did, well done.
Beautiful. What a day. I can hardly believe it.
I know, right, Cassius? These are really mind-bendingly hard trials. I'm surprised someone didn't activate this just I'm really surprised that, like, in the 1,000 years that happened since Merlin, or the 800 years, I guess. I'm really surprised that in the 800 years that took place since Merlin put this trial in place, that mallow leaf didn't simply grow right there. It is a plant, and this is like an outdoor place, so it's not ridiculous that at some point in the last 800 years, some mallow leaf just randomly grew right there.
I take it we can call that a success.
We can indeed. However, I now have even
the adults
more
are just humouring the students and pretending they're discovering new things just to make them happy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
My notes.
I mean, let's face it. That is the impression
all
that
of the trials like this one?
that is the impression that the trials
not
before the
precisely.
Philosopher's Stone
Well,
gave.
I
Let's face
think
it.
each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research.
Yep, we're going
My
to solve
guess
all
is
the
that
trials.
each will also require mallow sweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
This woman seems incredibly unfazed or uninterested by me and the fact that we literally just solved, like, presumably one of the greatest mysteries that surrounds the thing that she herself is very specifically interested in. Oh dear. Okay. What are we doing now? We're going back to Hogwarts, I guess. What are you doing?
Might I beseech you for some assistance?
No. Very stylish pants, though. Beltless, tweed, beltless. Yeah. Those pants would not look out of place being sold from like a high-end 21st century men's boutique fashion store. I mean, I know she's a girl, but stewed and humoured for the day. I'm off to have a beer. Fuck this shit. Yeah, sure. Okay, shit. I don't give the first book that much of a hard time since it was meant for children, not grown-ass adults to pick over every plot. Oh, absolutely, I agree. I mean, if there's one thing we'll say about J.K. Rowling, it's that when she started writing the series, she had no idea that by the end of 2020 or by the end of 2024, there would be literally over 1 million fan fictions picking over every single detail of her stories. Like I'm pretty sure that there has been more like literary analysis written about Harry Potter in Harry Potter fan fiction than there has been written about the Bible. I love a walk through the grounds at night. What's in here? Nothing, but I'm going to search this chest. I got Hunter Fingerless Gloves. Can I be Legolas? Bag. Search. 49 gold. Excellent. That'll set me up for... How many galleons did Fred and George need for their business? It was 1,000 galleons, wasn't it? I'm 5% of the way to starting my own entrepreneurial venture, which requires real estate and massive amounts of stock and stuff. Yeah, they got 1,000 from Harry. That's right. Obviously, you could say inflation.
Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin.
But inflation just means that inflation just actually makes it even worse. On the other hand, it's gold, so it shouldn't inflate. Well, I mean, it should. Well, no, it is gold. It should inflate because gold will be pinned to the non-value of fiat currency. So gold does technically inflate, but only in sorry. The price of gold inflates, but that's because the price of gold is valued based on the value of the currency that it's being measured in. Obviously, the value of gold can fluctuate based on supply and demand and all kinds of other things. But yeah, we've got no idea how economics in the wizarding world works. Let's face it. I basically had to invent almost all of that from whole cloth. Okay, marrowweed. Let's see what you've got here. Also, I've stayed out all night. It's almost getting dawn. It's literally getting light. Okay. Oh, what's this? Jesus Christ, it's the Have we just walked into Skyrim? Is this a Drider or a Dreader? Whatever they were called. Is this a Drider artifact? What are we supposed to do? Roll it down the hill, maybe? Yes. Bye-bye. Did I win?
Incendio.
I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe I used up the route that I had, or I used up the resource that I had, and it's no longer available. No, I've got 3 left, so it's not that I don't have any. It's not that I've used it up and I messed it up and I need to put more in. It's not letting me do any. What the fuck? Oh, maybe I have to roll it up the hill and put it on the thing. No, come back here. Okay, we got it. Come on. Come on. Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah, my pet rock is being, I was gonna say this Accio spell is, it's not really doing the biscuit.
Accio.
I mean, it's pretty big. It is a pretty big rock. It can beat a criminal gang into submission, can't move a rock. Yeah. I suppose I could break it up. Use water and then use fire. What else do I have at my disposal? Leviosa. Okay, let's try Leviosa instead. After all, if you can Leviosa a troll's club.
Leviosa.
Nope. Magic says no. Too big, too powerful, too heavy. Had more success with the summoning spell. Reparo shouldn't do anything. I mean, we could try it.
Reparo.
No. Nothing. Well, it looks like Accio is the business. Can we? No, we can't. That's unlocked. Accio is the only one that actually does anything. It connects us to the rock. But if we move away, it doesn't like come with us or anything. If I jump down, it's not going to come up with me, is it? That would be like too logical. No. I can't use that as like a pulley lever system. Accio from the road, you reckon? I think I may have actually fucked myself here. There doesn't appear to be an easy way to get back up. Yeah, I guess it has to be exploring time. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's cancel that. Let's go this way, I guess. There was like a pier down there. Let's see what's up there. I mean, we've already done a bunch of story stuff. Let's do a little bit of exploring and see what's up. Can I Accio the barrel? Also, the sun's going down again, which means that I've been out here for like 2 days now. I'm amazed that no one's come looking for me. What's this? Search. More money. Oh, I only got 7 gold from that one. What a cheapskate. Who only leaves 7 gold coins lying around? What the fuck? Oh! Oh. Ah. Ah. Okay. Right, we're in. We're in. We know what we're doing. The ball. Yes, the ball. Where is the ball? Bah, to you too, Mr. Sheep.
This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful.
Well, this would be good if I wasn't lost. Where is the where did the Merlin thing go? Is it down here? No. Is it up there? Oh, it's up there, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Okay. So it's down there. Come here. Let's go. Jogging backwards. Jogging backwards. This feels really dangerous. Like, that thing has to weigh, like, 5 tons. Okay, apparently the ball doesn't want to go down. I suppose I have to, like, kick it again? I guess I just punch it over the side. There we go. Then we follow the ball down. No, come back here, ball. Oh yeah. No. No, 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 no.
That's that. Settled.
Yes. The Trials of Merlin. It feels so condescending. Just imagine Merlin there, sort of like coming up with this stuff and saying, why do I have to come up with this baby shit? Yeah, exactly. We were one step away from becoming Merlin. Because we can like move rocks around and like place square rocks on platforms and round rocks in round holes. Oh dear. There's a flue up there. I guess we could go onto the path like a boring person. I'm surprised we haven't been attacked by wolves yet. Because, you know, that's like a standard thing in... That is really beautiful. And also, I don't recall this clock being mentioned in Hogwarts, like in the canon. Is this clock... I mean, because this clock is obviously amazing. But I don't think this clock was mentioned in Harry Potter canon, was it? But it looks really cool. I mean, I guess there's a bell tower, isn't there? Maybe? What do you mean I need to kill a humor a kid 1,000 years in the future? Nah, just 800 years, Merlin. Just 800 years. Wow. Is it not going to let me look up? I can't look up. It's not letting me look up all the way. Oh! Hey, come back here. Come here. Gotcha! So you got to keep your eyes open in this game. There's all these little things floating around. What is this? Wait. Oh, it's the dueling underground. It's the underground death dueling arena thing. Oh, that was here. Nah, I'm not down for you. I'll come back for you later. Once we've done the main storyline, I'm gonna like hoover up all these side quests, I think. Well, not all of them, the dueling ones. I do want to do more of the dueling stuff, but I want to progress the main story more. And, okay, so we enter the Hogwarts ground, we enter the courtyard, and we... Oh, hang on a minute, I saw something there. Revelio! Come here. Got some new world building. The Well of the Four Beasts. Some students believe that a wish made over the Well of the Four Beasts, whether near the Thestral, Gryffindor, Chimera... Oh, look, they do spell Chimera like that in the canon. Or Hippogriff, will come true for one who has gained the trust of any of the four. Well, that was incredibly... someone really should have told Harry that, shouldn't he? Or Luna. Because Harry had the trust of the Hippogriff, and Luna had the trust of the Thestral. Together, they could have just wished Voldemort out of existence, presumably. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Alex is hardcore like that. She don't give a fuck about anything. She's just like, yeah, I'll sleep on the floor. And I'll do it because I'm hardcore, not because I enjoy it, or even because I need to. I'm just doing it to prove a point. That's like Alex's attitude to things. It's like, is this thing practical? No. Is this thing difficult? Yes. Do I actually need to do this thing? No. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it the hard way. Because I need to prove myself. I seem to be stuck in this courtyard. Am I missing something here? Is there a door in here I missed? Yes, there is. There's one over there. There's another one over here as well. Ah, hang on a minute. Is this? Ah, okay. I'm with the platform now. I'm with the program. Damn, I'd like to have that ability. Ooh, this... Is there an argument going on?
It's about this. I'm too sorry.
What's going on? Huh. Oh, whatever. Drinking fountain?
Revelio.
Oh, is that a pensive? Of course it's pensive. We just randomly have them lying around. I guess that's another thing I have to like wait until later to use. Unless I have to, unless it's one of these things where I have to open up the book to access the capabilities of the device that I'm next to. Like the flu. Not immediately obvious. Oh, hi, Peeves. I do like the idea that they built these absolutely gigantically, massively awesome buildings and just randomly decided, well, not randomly, they decided, one, this building here needs a portcullis and like fortifications. This building doesn't, but we're going to attach them together with this bridge that does admittedly go over quite a large ravine. Okay, fair dues. Okay, I'm going to hit the V. Oh, I'm not. Well, I'm not currently tracking anything. What the? Hang on a minute. I could have got a herbology class. Okay, let's go do herbology class, and after we've done herbology class, we'll finish up. Okay. Let's go. Let's quickly do that, and then we'll call it a day. Zoom. Where to go? This way. Okay. I wonder what plot-relevant thing herbology class will have to teach us. The ASMR of shoes tapping on the ground is great. Well, I'm glad that some value is being provided, Sawtooth.
Ugh, what am I missing?
Everything. Boom.
Handy.
Ooh. Wow. This place is really nice. Massively unpractical. I mean, it's a greenhouse, but there's like the vast majority of the space is like paving stones, which is completely pointless. But it is absolutely beautiful. Very much in the sort of like Victorian ironwork style of things. Which does make you wonder about like the industry of the wizarding world, I guess. Are there wizarding steel mills?
I bet garlic had a say in it. Why else would it be the only common room in France?
Okay, here we go. Quest, begin. Oh, this is an actual quest. Presumably meaning we can fail it.
Good morning, Professor Garlic.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden.
The newest rose in our garden. That's me.
We do look forward to growing together.
Wow, you are just full of the plant
How
puns.
thrilling
and,
it
aren't
is to
you?
have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacular than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root.
Of course we
Accio.
will. We can't learn about anything new.
Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears.
Well, you don't need to do that. Your hair does the job. Incidentally, Professor Garlick's hair
Now,
is
everyone,
amazing.
Grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug.
Everyone had an obsession with this professor when it came out. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, Sawtooth, but she does kind of hit that spot. I'm not going to lie. Oh yes, it's the let's murder the babies.
Quickly! Place your mandrake in the new corn and cut down the soil!
Get in there. Seriously, does the herbology greenhouse glass shatter every single time they repot mandrakes?
The soil should envelop the root like a warm,
I'm not gonna
dozy
lie.
blanket.
I think I do
Putting
have
the
something to
mandrake
fear from
right
these
at
plants.
ease.
Yeah, rip ears, yeah.
Reparo!
Oh, of course. Wow, how could I forget? You can just wave a wand and
very
repair
sorry
all the
about that.
damage.
Yours
I
was a bit
forgot.
mature,
Wizards are
I'm
immune
afraid.
from consequences.
All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at our potting tables.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The moment I saw that hair, the first thought that went through my mind is all the things that that someone could do with that hair. Are we done? Oh no, we've got to go and talk to our new favourite professor, I guess.
I wonder if hippogriffs like knotgrass.
Okay.
Yes, Professor?
Firstly, well done with your mandrake.
Yeah.
They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
I enjoyed it. I nearly went deaf. Do we go for snarky or do we go for masochist? Let's go for masochist.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
How kind of you. It seems you're already taking to herbology like a mandrake to fresh soil. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
Oh, we're not
already
done.
have
I
some,
thought we were. I
Professor.
thought we were.
Pick them up in
finished.
Hogsmeade.
Okay.
You visited the magic neep. Wonderful. A prepared student is bound to bloom.
God,
I've
these
arranged for you to have your
flower,
own potting
plant,
table
gardening
here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice.
language.
Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Let's see how to
Ah,
balance
Wix.
this star thistle.
Welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us.
Fancy
And yes, you are
roses.
You are correct. It is indeed Alexandra Black, fully named and everything. Yep.
It's also somewhat exciting.
Plant dittany seeds at the potting table.
Silent.
Dittany's
Does she have purple
restorative
eyes?
properties
Okay.
make it a vital ingredient in the Wiggenweld potion.
The answer is no, because purple was not an option in the character selection screen. So the best I could do is like dark black. Yeah, you entered, saw my character and was like, yep, that's 100%
Professor
Alex.
Sharp's
You're
colour.
the second person this stream to like draw that conclusion. So yeah, I'm glad that, I mean, I must say that I do not necessarily imagine Alex exactly like this, but I did the best I could. And I'm glad that the effort that I made is like correctly translated in the minds of people who are coming in from DPaSW. Anyway, plant dittany seeds at the potting table. Small planter interact. Let's do this thing. Potting table. Select the available seeds to begin planting. Once the seeds have been planted, the plant will take time to grow before they're ready to harvest. So Hogwarts Legacy has a farming minigame. Full on Stardew Valley, is it? Dittany, ready in 10 minutes? Please don't tell me that they sell you like microtransactions that will speed this up. I hope not. That would really suck. You can add fertilizers to this plant to increase its yield. You can create fertilizer by conjuring a dung composter. Yeah, they actually make you wait. I don't have any problem with making you wait. I think that's fine. You can go off and do something else and come back. But honestly, 10 minutes to me actually feels like too short a time. Like, I can't go off and do a quest in 10 minutes, right? Like, 10 minutes is just short enough to be, like, to feel awkward about going somewhere else to do something else, but too long to, like, feel comfortable sitting here just waiting for it to happen. EA edition, $10 to gather Dittany. Yeah, well, you'll need the Dittany after that, won't you? Okay, you can add fertilizer to this plant to increase its yield. You can create the fertilizer by conjuring a dung composter. Okay, let's see if we have that spell, I guess.
Well done! Once it can be harvested, your Dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp
healing potions! Well, we need that.
What say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora. The Chinese chomping
cabbage. Now that is new.
That some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get tasty without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Be a dear and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you.
Weasley's like great grandfather.
And mind your
presumably.
fingers. They do bite.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't fancy being bitten on by my food. I prefer to like be the one. Like I prefer to be the one biting into the cabbage. Like maybe I can just pick it up and like eat it reverse style. Oh, interesting. Meet Leander Pruitt.
Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day. Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing you the Chinese chomping cabbages. Up these stairs will take us there. But your lead.
Ah, so you're the love interest if I had chosen Gryffindor. Gotcha.
Nice work in defense.
Dittany extract was used to close wounds. Yes, and in fact I even...
Your duel with Sebastian. And he's good.
You'll recall that in Dodging Prison and Stealing Witches, Hermione uses Dittany a lot inside of the healer training program.
Thank you.
I nearly put Sebastian in his place myself. I mean, I would have, if Hecate hadn't stopped me.
Didn't she stop that dragon skull from crushing you?
Typical Slytherin trick, dropping a dragon skull on someone during a fight. We Gryffindors fight with honor. No offense. Sorry.
Boom! We have RPG. We have someone reacting to us as though we actually are a Slytherin. No, not quite. It's like you're saying no offense, which is good enough. You know, that's you know, baby steps. I mean, we're still not. We still don't have like some kind of Slytherin, Gryffindor like stereotypes or being played out in the conversation or anything like that. But hey, okay. So go to the other greenhouses. I really do like this greenhouse. Absolutely beautiful. Is that the Whomping Willow? It looks like the Whomping Willow. Damn. Whomping Willow is old.
Here we are. Home of the Chinese chomping cabbage.
You're surprised by the lack of Professor Garlic fix on AO3. How many are there? And when I say how many are there, obviously I'm talking about like proper Professor Garlic.
I almost lost a thumb once.
Not these, not any lame ones, like full on 18 plus or nothing.
You do not want to go through that.
Pink Willow, who knows? Hang on a minute. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be like harvesting a Chinese chomping cabbage. Why have you brought me to this dummy? Oh, we're supposed to grab the dummy, aren't we? Oh, let's beat this dummy around a bit, I guess. Cool. Anything? Oh, here we go. Chinese chomping cabbage. Collect.
Now, see that dummy? Just toss the cabbages at it. They'll do the rest.
I see. Hold tab and tap mouse to open the tool wheel and assign Chinese chomping cabbage. Then tap tab to use your assigned tool.
Look at that. They'll chomp on anything they can get their mouths on. Mum planted some in her garden last year to keep the gnomes out. Did save her the de-gnoming, but they left her honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that'd have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but, well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
Well, our Percy Weasley knockoff character is, well, I mean, obviously not Percy Weasley knockoff, but he's certainly, I want to say he's like got Weasley, I want to say this guy's got Weasley energy, and he is a Pruitt, so yeah, there is that. But on the other hand, like, Molly Weasley was a Pruitt, and this is in the 1800s, so it's like, it is quite a far way back. I was imagining it already, because I'm a Slytherin.
Trust me, Leander. I was imagining it the entire time.
And I was enjoying it.
Of course, you're not someone to be trifled with. I see that. Dogweed and Deathcap has more of them.
I took 3 students at once in the dueling tournament.
Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class.
302 in total.
Take your
62
time.
with over
I'll see you back in class.
I mean, how long has Hogwarts Legacy been out? Been out a little while, right? It's been out like a year, I think. Can I collect more? Oh, I can just grab them all. I'll just grab all of them. Excuse me, I'm going to help myself to the entire, literally every single plant in this entire place is mine. Just, I'll have that, and I'll have that, and I'll have that. Anything else? Anything else I can pinch? I think that's it. You have to be careful, or we're gonna like accidentally canonically make Alexandra Black a kleptomaniac.
And with that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragon hide gloves, I shall end our lesson here. Terribly sorry, Mr. Clopton.
Oh, what happened to Clopton? Do you get his hand bitten off or something? Has to go to the medical wing to have it regrown on.
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
As am I. Plants offer so much. Of course. Why on earth would we say anything else? Female version of Hagrid. Female version of Hagrid, but with plants rather than monsters. Yeah, absolutely. Also a lot hotter.
Magical plants have so much to offer.
I don't know. Actually, some people might very well like Hagrid.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Okay. We are officially done.
Their new pots only cost me my damned hearing.
Quit whining, you little bitch. You're a Hogwarts student. What more do you want? Literally what every one of us grew up dreaming about. Grew up dreaming about. Okay. We are done here. Yeah, we're going to call it a night. Thank you very much to everyone for joining me here. Thank you especially to everyone who has joined either on Patreon or on the Twitch with the Prime or with a gifted sub. either one of those. And thank you to everyone who helped with the editing during the editing stream. And of course, a continuous thank you to Svu, who is handling the actual publishing of that stuff while we are moving on to the entertainment and the enjoyment that is chilling in Hogwarts Legacy. We will see you, I will see you all possibly during, probably, I hope, during next week, during the afternoons, or sometime during the afternoons or possibly the mornings for some kind of original writing sprint streams. But otherwise, I can say that so long as I do the writing that I'm supposed to be doing during the week, we should have enough scenes in the backlog for another scene next week. Because we currently have 20 scenes, or 20 releases I should say, on the Patreon early access. And because of that, since 20 is the amount that we're supposed to be like maintaining, we should have another release next week. Another public release next week, I should say. Obviously, apart from the other scenes that get published to the Discord and the Patreon. So other than that, I will again thank you all for coming. I will see you all either next week in the afternoons or on the Friday. And until then, if you are a reader, please keep reading. And if you are a writer, or an artist, or a coder, please keep writing, or drawing, or coding. I will see you all then. Have a good one. And good night.